Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today it is time for another Halloween look and we are doing my annual mermaid look. I try and do one every single year and this year I wanted to do more of like a spooky, more conceptualized mermaid. So I'm doing a radioactive mermaid. So to start this look I went in with a kind of deep blue powder and started filling in my brows. I did them pretty thin and just wanted them to be a fun color so that everything looks just a little bit wrong. Because we're radioactive, not everything's going to be the right color or the right shape. So I went in with that and then I just primed my lids with some concealer as per usual. And for the first color, I went in with this gold super shimmery shade. This is for my brow bone, and I think it made my eyes look very, very big and wide, like almost kind of put them higher up on my face, or just made them look a lot bigger and more lid space, which is good because it gives us this kind of fish-like, sort of disproportionate, I don't know, like mythological looking look, I guess. For the crease, I went in with this kind of cerulean blue and started packing this on and then blending it out into that beautifully shimmery gold color. These are all from one of the Norvina palettes. It's whatever the blue one is with like the chevron pattern. That's the one I have, and I haven't used it in a long time, so I really wanted to dig back into it because it is such a good palette. I love it a lot. I wish I had all of them, but this is the only one I have been able to find. But anyway, I digress. So going into the eyelids, I took one of the really bright yellow shades and packed that on. I thought this kind of looked like a blue tang, like a little dory fish. And then I went in with the shimmery version of the color and packed that over top of the yellow as well, just so it had a lot more fishy reflect to it. It blends very well with this color, so it may not be obvious on camera, but in person it had a nice little shimmery effect that made it look kind of wet. Like I want everything to look very wet and like I just kind of popped out of the water, you know, very, have a nice sheen to it. In the inner corners, I went in with the color D3. This is my favorite color from the palette. That's why I'm telling you what color it is. It is the like bluish gold one. For liner today, I decided to keep with the blue theme, and I did this light blue liquid liner. It's a very bright blue, it's very pigmented, and it did not mix with the yellow as it dried down and turned green. That's something I've noticed with some different colored liquid eyeliners is as they dry down, they kind of absorb the powder almost of the shadow, and then they take on that color as well. This one didn't do that, and I just made it very, very winged out. It almost ended up looking like kind of a fin, so almost like my eyelids themselves were little fish, which I think just added to the effect of my radioactive mermaid. For skin, I just kept it real simple with my Pretty Fresh foundation. I wanted something dewy, something light, nothing overly heavy. You can use whatever you want here. You could even go in and maybe mix in a little bit of gray so that your skin has a different sort of finish to it, like it looks a little bit off. But I wanted to keep this like deadly glam, I guess. So I also brought this down my neck just because it is one shade darker than I normally am. And then I went in with my concealer. This is just my old school glam concealer here, going under the eyes, down the nose, on the cupid's bow, like hitting all those really highlight points. I wanted this to be very dramatic, very high glam, and really reshape my face to have that sort of symmetry that I sometimes lack. So I'm blending all of this out with a sponge, just your normal sort of routine here, nothing super special. Now I'm going in with that same concealer and adding some gills to my neck. You can do them up on your face. I've seen people do that before, but I think the neck is more accurate to like a mermaid and different mythologies. So to do this, I just took my concealer and did 2 lines on my neck. You can do them pointy, you can do them rounded. But after you make the 2 lines, you're going to want to go in with a darker shade and line the tops of those gills because that's going to be almost like the tissue that you can see inside the fish, but it also creates a shadow. So I just used a teal color from the palette, also kind of adding to that something being wrong, like radioactive type look. And then I went in with a dual fiber blending brush just to soften them a little bit and make it look more like rescinded into the skin. Now I just added my regular old mascara, nothing special here. And I put a lot on so that my eyes looked really big. And to be honest, when I put the mascara on, I was shocked at how my eyes looked. So I was really happy with how they turned out. And then I went in with a purple kind of periwinkle shade, like a dark periwinkle shade, and lined my under eyes with them as well. At this point, I just really wanted to enhance the green in my eyes, so I put the purple underneath, which just really makes them pop. And then I added some mascara to the bottom lashes because like I said, I just wanted my eyes to be like really intense and like the focal point of the look, I guess, since I did put so many different colors on them. But this also just helps make your eyes look bigger. And then I threw on some of my most voluminous lashes because my 3D Mink ones had to go. They were in rough shape. So I went in with these like multi-volume ones. For the contour, I tried to do the wig cap trick to make scales, but the pigment I used ended up just not working. So I went in over top of it all and just used my foundation to turn it into regular contour. So if you're doing this look, you can just take a blue powder and contour your face with it. For my highlight, I went into this blue-based duochrome highlight, and I put this on my cheeks as if it were blush. This is going to give you that super wet, kind of glazed donut-y look, and give you that very shimmery, mermaid, scaly look without having to actually do the scales, so that helped with the effect as well. I put this down my nose, on the very bridge of my nose, obviously very, very heavily on my cheeks, a little bit on my chin, and then up the arch of my eyebrow as well. I mean, you can see it reflecting. I just packed this on so that it had a nice reflect. And then I went into my rainbow highlight from Wet n Wild and went into the blue section and just packed that on my cheeks to make it look a little more blush-like. Now for the lips, I went in with this deep teal color and lined them because we're going to be doing an ombre lip. So I just went on the outsides of my lips to give them a nice little outline. You can do this with a pencil as well, but I do it with liquid liner. If you're not comfortable doing this with like the doe foot of the liquid lipstick, you can do it with a lip brush. For the inside of the lips, I took my kind of mossy green, like, I guess it's more of like an army green color, and just put that in the middle and let them kind of naturally blend. On my body, I took this glow-in-the-dark body glitter and added it to my chest and my neck. This had really chunky glitter, which kind of gave it that scaly effect. So if you added scales to anywhere else on your body, you could pack this on top and it would give it that really multi-dimensional effect. Now it's time to make this mermaid radioactive with some UV activated paint. I took the bright green and started drawing it down coming out of the gills, almost like it's oozing some sort of toxic goo. I got my little black light on Amazon, but you can find them on Spirit Halloween. If you are going to a party where you know they're going to have black light, I really recommend doing something that has UV paint attached to it because it is such a fun effect. I am obsessed with my UV paint and I do not use them nearly enough, but that's going to change this year. So, I mean, look at how bright that green is when I'm not in the sun. Like coming out of my mouth, it kind of oozing. It just adds such a fun, glowy effect and it can really make a look more professional. And then I added 3 little white dots by the eye just for another level of glow. And then I took the white and I went over top of the very top of the top gills to give them a little bit of highlight. For my wig, I went with this white and black one. I thought it kind of gave the look of like the hair was okay and now it's growing a different color because of the reaction to the chemicals. Also, I just really like this wig and I hadn't gotten a chance to wear it yet, so I threw it in there. But yeah, I liked the roots being really light, making it look like something's making the hair grow a different color. But this is what it looks like in the regular light, all finished. That goo is still very green. Oh, and I added some hair accessories. I got these little shell clips online. So I added a little clamshell to one side and then a starfish on the other. And these are just little alligator clips, so you can just pin them right into your wig or your hair. But as you can see, the UV paint still glows pretty well in regular light. But when you shut the lights off and you're in front of the black light, it just really, really stands out. You guys can see here, even the glow in the dark paint reacts to it too. So that kind of adds another level of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look because I definitely did. And I will see you tomorrow.